So what have I been doing all this time? Well, I've been doing
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
but mostly I've been doing What's up guys, Blade Master here. Welcome to yet another Total War Rome 2 online battle, which we're going to be playing in Blade Balance. This is not a tournament battle, it's a regular battle that I fought against Willian quite a while ago. It's going to be a barbarian on barbarian engagement, a BOB engagement. Do you guys remember that rapper, BOB? I think he was like one of those, he made like one good song and then he just faded out. But anyways, this is going to be Boii versus Arevaci fought in dank names Nemersena. It's going to be quite interesting because we're going to see a new type of Boii versus a kind of different Arevaci build facing off against each other. So I've taken Boii and fucking try hard blade, right? I've brought a total of 4 sword followers and I've brought a total of 3 veteran spears, 2 light horse, a couple of Celtic bowmen, and a few axe warriors. I intentionally tried to go as try-hardy as possible. Well, I brought 1 axe warrior, a couple of levy free, a total of 4 heavy horse, and of course an oathsworn general, which is who's a strategist general. So, by the way, I'm using the Barbarian Reskins mod. If you guys can see, if they definitely look quite a bit different. Look at the new armor pieces on these guys. It's a new mod. And I think it just released very recently on the Rome 2 Steam Workshop. I'll post a link for the mod in the description because these guys look pretty tight. And they actually, there are some ones, I think maybe Iceni or Swaby looks fucking amazing. But yeah, going back to Willian's army, we have quite a few cavalry units, but surprisingly not a single skirmisher to be found, which I think is a big mistake on Willian's part. I don't think any Arevaci army is complete without bringing a lot of skirmishers and the Balearic slingers, essentially. We have a total of 2 noble cavalry, and we have 4 Celtiberian cavalry. We have a couple of noble fighters, and he's gone very heavy on the melee infantry department instead, and he's brought a total of 5 Scutari, and 1, 2, 3, and 4 Iberian Spearmen. So, I like the Iberian Spearmen. I like the fact that he's brought 4 of them. I like the fact that he's brought a lot of cavalry. I think he's brought too many Scutari infantry. They're just never going to win out in a melee engagement against sword followers. And by bringing more and more of these Scutari, if you go from something like a 3 Scutari mainline to 5, then you're essentially shifting your strategy to be much more rushy, and then you're just playing right into Boii's hands. I think that's my take on why this army is not perfect. If he brought 3 Scutari and spent the extra money on like 2 or 3 Balearic slingers, then he would have the increased flexibility of, you know, having a long skirmish engagement, and Boii definitely doesn't want a long skirmish engagement. It's very easy to pick off either the very strong sword followers or the even stronger oathsworn. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the light horse do. I've intentionally kept them behind my main line so that they can charge in first, get that frontal charge, and then I can bring in my veteran spears while the enemy units are knocked down. Now the problem is, light horse, since they're light, they're very quick, but since they're light, they also don't knock down many units because their mass is lower. So I would have to time it really, really well, and even then I'm not really sure if it would be a good idea to use them this way. I think probably the best one is to just round them around and then get a rear charge mid to late game. But anyways, now I'm going to try and bait some javelins from the Iberian Spearmen while I bring in the rest of my troops. I'm going to focus fire on his noble fighters, at least try to. He's going to bring in his Iberian Spearmen. Didn't really get any kills off the javelin volley. Did waste one of my javelins with my sword followers while he brings his Scutari, and they might just be able to get a proper charge in without me getting a counter charge. And this Celtiberian is going to charge into the sword followers, but it was kind of weird. They do get a great charge in at the end of the day though, and I do charge in with my light horse in the center, try and break off his Celtiberians, but he did get great charges off. But in the meanwhile, I got a clean charge with my heavy horse on the flanks, and it's pretty similar on this side too. I brought in my heavy horse to help out. His Celtiberians are dropping down very, very quickly. Now I'm going to use cavalry counter tactics with all of my veteran spears. That's the good part of bringing veteran spears in the main line against Arevaci. But the veteran spears now just took a frontal charge from the noble fighters, and even though I've turned on shield screen, the veteran spears are going to drop so quickly. So 22 kills off of the charge, and meanwhile the flanks are definitely going in my favor. I brought my levy freeman in here, so I was able to pull away my 2 heavy horse. because he's brought a lot of supporting cavalry over here. His noble horse are going to be able to charge into my heavy horse. I get a last second counter charge with my heavy horse against his noble fighters, his noble cavalry. And they've lost quite a few men so far, and the heavy horse is still at full strength. This noble fighter is going to chase after my heavy horse here, and I'm going to try and use the mass differential to, just circle around, because the noble cav won't be able to charge into them. It looks like they might just be able to, though. A very hectic charge going in over there. I charged with my light horse onto the rear of the Iberian spearmen. They will be very useful in breaking through ranks of low morale infantry. I also got a a rear charge against this Scutari. Meanwhile, my Celtic bowmen have been firing point blank into his noble fighters, while my spears got crushed by the general. So the noble fighters, they haven't lost many men so far, but they are exhausted, and they are fighting up against strong mid-tier infantry. And now they're going to start taking it in extended, combat, when they take extended fire from Celtic bowmen, they're not going to do very well. My general now charged into the noble fighters. General has done very well so far, 70 kills on him so far. And my sword followers are somehow holding out. His Scutari have done really well because he got great charges in the main line. But now my light horse is going to start to play a bit more of an increased role. They've gotten 32 kills, but they're disrupting the enemy formation, giving the noble fighters another target to fight at, while my Celtic bowmen just rack up the experience and rack up the kills. My sword followers didn't get a charge in, but they are going to face up against a charge against this noble fighter. It's still the fact that I brought 2 Celtic bowmen, and the fact that he didn't have any Balearic slingers, meant that I can easily just pick off his general like I did here. Now, on the far side, his Celt-Iberian cav are chasing after my Celtic bowmen, but they've expended a lot of their ammo. And meanwhile, I'm charging in behind into the rear of these noble fighters, and yeah, these are noble fighters, I believe. While my, Scutari and a mix of noble fighters, while my veteran spears held the line. They've not done really well. I mean, they're about to get a single XP chevron, but they're very good at holding down for a long time. That's why I would always suggest someone bring them against factions like Arevaci, which can bring a mix of decent infantry and very decent cavalry. Now heavy horse going to continue to rear charge, and going to charge into, I believe, the Scutari, who managed to get another, it was the noble fighter general who got another javelin volley off. The heavy horse have done quite decently so far, and with the help of my Levy Freeman, who are about to get a double XP chevron. Yes, Levy Freeman are still great in blade balance, I guess. They managed to support the heavy horse against the noble cavalry, so they managed to quickly get very valuable kills. My general, double XP chevron, Oathsworn, always going to do very well. And now I'm going to pull away my veteran spears while I come in with a charge with my heavy horse. It was somewhat disrupted by my own veteran spears, but this noble fighter won't be able to last very long. And it's looking like it might just go in my favor. The noble fighter general, 48 men left, got a lot of kills, actually 194 kills, and is going to kill off the sword follower as well. The Celt-Iberians did really well for Willian, because they killed off my Celtic bowmen, who were actually they were in a great spot. They were just firing the shit out of this noble fighters, getting point blank shots. Now this heavy horse is going to pull away, and my Oathsworn general with 72 men is going to countercharge a Scutari. So you can imagine how sad those Scutari must feel, just facing off against these Oathsworn. Goddamn. So the Oathsworn, of course, going to just chew through these guys. 193 kills. He's going to pop his Celt-Iberians onto diamond formation to face off against my heavy horse. Smart move here, putting frenzied charge so that these guys will stay unbreakable, and they might just get a few more kills on the heavy horse in the process. Another heavy horse with at half strength going to rear charge his general, while my axe warriors here with 91 men hold them down. And the noble fighters slowly but steadily dropping. They've taken a whole bunch of fire from arrows and rear charges, and they fought up against the best barbarian infantry in Rome 2. Well, I guess tribal warriors are better. But yeah, close victory. Definitely costly victory for me. the veteran, the sword followers didn't manage to do very well. Even though he used, I think, a suboptimal army, he managed to make them work by getting those frontal charges off. And that's something, because I haven't been playing much of Rome 2 lately. I'm falling more and more increasingly susceptible to frontal charges through the main line. That's literally the most important thing for you to be worried about. But somehow I managed to make it work by making sure that I won the flanks, the flank battles, and that was pretty essential because I did bring a lot of cavalry myself. And these two Celtic bowmen, while they didn't get many kills, all they did was just keep firing at the noble fighters general. And you can see, even with all that, they managed to do so well. So I think the Celtic bowmen played a very, very crucial role here. The heavy horse, again, by winning the flank engagements at the start of the game and getting some very crucial charges onto the noble cavalry on the left flank, and moving around using the mass differential on the right flank, I think they were incredibly useful, which is why heavy horse is such an important unit for Boii. My Oathstone obviously was probably the biggest reason why I won. I'm not even sure, while watching the battle, I probably skipped over a couple of their charges. I'll put it in the highlights section. The Oathstone 100% did so well. Triple XP chevron, and look at the number of people left. 242 kills for these guys. I remember they killed off a lot of the Scutari infantry, and I think they might have gotten an uninterrupted charge on the non-general noble fighter, and I think they got a lot of their high-value kills from that. The veteran spears, I think they're a very good unit, and if I'm not entirely sure if I should keep them as a mainline infantry unit or not. You guys let me know. In this game, they just got frontally charged and frontally crushed by a lot of the Celtiberians before they came into Scutari infantry. And despite me using shield screen on them, only one of them got a single XP chevron. But that said, they did fight up against strong melee infantry and strong noble fighters. And they essentially did their job because they held down these melee infantry for so long. And their cavalry counter tactics at the start of the game was pretty crucial in at least wounding a lot of the Celtiberian cavalry, so that my heavy horse and light horse could kill them easily. The light horse didn't really manage to do much, and I don't think you can expect them to do too much. I think them, just like the Celtic bowmen, are much more of a tactical tool, and I don't think it's fair to expect anything more than maybe a barely got their single XP chevron from light horse. They are of course cheap, and more than anything, it provides a tactical edge for you. You could see that those light horse, they got a critical charge on the noble fighters. Didn't get many kills, but held them down for a few moments while my Celtic bowmen let loose some more shots. And I believe the light horse crushed that Iberian spearman on my right flank early in the game, which allowed me to use the axe warrior, I think, that was engaged with the Iberian spearman to help support against the general. So in that sense, they perform very specialized tactical roles, and I think it's probably even a good idea to not even use these guys in the early game and just keep them until late game, where those charges against weakened infantry can actually play a pretty decisive role. But yeah, for Willian, the Scutari of course did really well, and I'm surprised that he actually managed to do so well with an Arevaci army without any Balearic slingers. The Iberian spearmen, some of them were used for meat shield purposes, so they didn't really get many kills. One of them actually did pretty decently. I'm assuming that's the one that supported against the heavy horse engagements. And otherwise, he was hoping for his noble fighters to carry the game. His general did brilliantly, but the other one didn't really do too much because I think it got a charge on my veteran spears. And once the veteran spears died, I got a clean charge with my general. And I think that's probably the biggest turning point in this game. The noble cavalry as well, not really utilized very well at all. These units are extremely strong cavalry. I don't know if they have javelins. I believe they have javelins. And they're so good against enemy cavalry that once you can, I think if you use the Iberian spearmen to help support the cavalry engagements more, he would have been easily able to win this game. The noble cavalry would have crushed the heavy horse. Iberian spearmen are better support than Levy Freeman. So all in all, I think the reason why he lost this game was because he lost the flanks, and the flanks is definitely something that he shouldn't have lost, considering he had a massive advantage over me in the cavalry department. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. Peace.